Hello everyone, welcome to our LGTin5 video today. My name is Husnal Kaur and I'm a recent graduate from Computer Engineering Technology program at Humber College. And today we have with us Brendan Wu. Brendan, would you like to introduce yourself today?
Thanks, Husnal. Hello everyone, I'm Brendan. I am also a recent graduate of Humber College's Computer Engineering program, and I'm continuing on to Ryerson, University for Computer Science.
That sounds great, Brendan. So today we are going to talk about a very important topic. It's about gap years. Brendan here took a gap year, and Brendan, would you like to explain when?
Yeah, originally after high school, I went into biology at Waterloo, and that was not quite the right program for me. I actually did not very well, and I had to leave, and I took a gap year in between, and then I started out my studies at Humber College for Computer Engineering Technology.
Thank you, Brendan. Would you like to tell us also, what was your family's reaction to you taking a gap year and leaving Waterloo out of nowhere?
Yeah, honestly, it came as a bit of a surprise for me even. They didn't announce that I couldn't continue at Waterloo until the semester had already started. So the gap year was not planned. It was actually, I was partway into the next semester and then they announced to me that I couldn't continue on. So that came as a bit of a surprise, and it was actually a little hard because by that point it was too late to register to start immediately with a different college or university. And then now I was planning on going to Humber College for computer engineering because I wanted to switch fields. But at that time the teacher's strike was on. And as a result, I actually ended up taking about a full year gap year, although it was completely unplanned. But my family was in general actually really supportive of it. Our family was going through a renovation at the time, and we were all living out of the basement, and my grandparents were having some health issues, so I spent a lot of time here helping out at the house. We built a patio in the backyard, and I visited my grandparents a lot.
Do you think the gap year was good for your mental health, or like in general, how did it affect your personal life, your personal mental health? Because we all know mental health is a really important issue.
Yeah. If I'm being honest, I wasn't in a good place, and that wasn't the result. Leaving Waterloo did not cause the bad place. I was already kind of in a bad place. I was already a little depressed, and that caused me to go leave out of Waterloo. And the gap year gave me a little time to get my head back together. It gave me my time to explore my interests, try new things, and that was when I could realize I kind of wanted to go into a technical field. I played around with a little bit of animation and programming. I thought about a lot of different stuff, but in the end, yeah, it gave me time to put my head together. It gave me time to reflect on what had happened and where I wanted to go.
So you told us you were in a biology-based program, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to take a jump from biology right over to computer engineering, that's a pretty vast, like a complete flip of your the field.
Yeah,
How did that come about? Would you like to talk about it?
Yeah, well, I knew I didn't want to go in biology anymore. I'd taken some programming courses when I was younger. Honestly, at the time, part of the motivation was feeling that I had lost time. And I knew computer engineering was highly employable and I wanted to jump right into it. And I was very lucky that once I got there, I loved it and did quite well in it. But that wasn't the place. And it was only later that I realized that, and people kept telling me this, it was that you haven't lost time. Life isn't really a linear path. And taking a gap year or leaving a different program, it doesn't mean you're behind anyone.
Oh, that I understand. That's completely true. But when you said, you were scared, it's not easy, and telling your family and being like, okay, I'm taking a break from university. I'm not going back to university. I'm going to college. I'm doing completely different field. And would you like to tell everybody a little bit about your family background? Because I know that they're all from the biology-based field, right?
Yeah, both of my parents were in medicine. X-ray technician and a radiologist.
Mm-hmm.
So that's actually a large influence on why I picked biology. And in hindsight, that's mainly why I picked it and probably why I didn't do well in it, because I didn't have much experience in the field myself. My parents never really pressured me to go into biology. There was never a pressure to become a doctor or anything like that. They were always, in general, very supportive. And so they were fairly supportive when I came out of, and I said it was, like I said, I wasn't planning on taking a gap year. It kind of happened. But we were in a situation where like the entire upper floor of our house was gutted, and my grandfather was going into palliative care, and we were all living out of the basement. So, and then there was flood damage. We had to move into a hotel or something. But it gave me more time to spend time around the house and help out with my family and with my grandparents.
That would
So
have been a really scary time for you, I can imagine. But how did you deal with it? Like, I know when you have like trouble, stress, the days come and go, they go up and down, your feelings
yeah,
all over the place. Do you have any idea how you dealt with it, how you came to a successful computer engineering field?
yeah. I decided during the gap year that I didn't like where I was, and I looked at where I wanted to go, and I decided to try and reinvent myself. I started going into my hobbies, seeing what I was interested in, so I would have a better idea what field I wanted to go into. I decided to start exercising. I started taking online lectures and such, and it's hard to try and reinvent yourself when you're in the middle of something. It's hard to try and switch tracks entirely. The gap year gave me time to figure out who I was and where I wanted to be and what I needed to do to get there.
Yeah. And I think that is really important for all of us to understand that no matter you're taking a gap year, no matter what you're doing, it's important to sometimes take a break from the everyday life and focus on yourself, because that helps, right? As you said, taking care, taking a break, and finally figuring out what you actually like to do rather than what you thought you were comfortable with, because you would have known like you would have more support in biology, your parents were there, it was more comfortable.
Mhm.
Right.
Thanks for watching, everyone, and be sure to look out for part 2. If you have any questions, you can contact us at the email in the description below. Thank you.